What's up you guys, it's Sarah and welcome back to another type 1 diabetes day in the life. Except today, it's quarantine edition. So it's been after 9 o'clock now and I woke up about half an hour ago. And I decided I'm going to film my day today because during quarantine my diabetes has actually been kind of annoying. It's been so sensitive to everything. Like I'll eat a meal and even if I pre-bolus my blood sugar will still spike up and I'll go on a walk to bring it down and it'll just shoot back down. And it's really frustrating. But it seems like I'm not the only one who's experiencing this, so at least I'm not the only one. I've also learned and changed quite a bit of things since my last type 1 diabetes video, which I think I filmed in like October or November. So if you guys want to watch that, you can look up in the cards. I don't know which side it is. But yeah, quite a bit of things have changed, and one of those is that my long-acting insulin I use now is Tresiba instead of Lantus. I'm actually enjoying Tresiba more than Lantus right now. I find that my blood sugar graphs at night are a lot more straight rather than having a little dip. So that's a good thing about it, I guess, but I still can't give myself that much insulin, otherwise I still go low during the night. And it's one of the most annoying things ever because I know I need more long-acting insulin during the day because my blood sugars, like if they go up, they literally will never come down and I like have to give myself insulin for it, and a lot of the time it'll just start going up randomly even if I didn't eat anything. So I know I need more during the day, but if I give myself more then I start going a lot more low during the night, and then I have to eat more food before I go to sleep. And I don't really like eating before bed because I don't like having like food in my stomach and like feeling that and like the heaviness, if you know what I mean. So it's annoying, but I still do it anyway because, you know, I don't want to go that low during the night, except sometimes I still go low even if I eat. So it's, I don't know, I don't really know what to do about it. I've talked to my nurse, but I feel like since I'm in the honeymoon period right now, my blood sugars are just kind of like random and they're hard to predict. So yeah, I don't know. So as always, start off with priming the needle. Sure, some insulin actually comes out, and I only do 5 units a day because, like I said, I'll go low if I don't. But I've started injecting more into my arms and legs with my long-acting insulin because the absorption in my arms and legs is usually a bit slower than in my stomach, but with this it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna try and do a little close up so you guys can actually see. Okay, I can't get my camera to focus, so we're just gonna do it from here. I don't think you can even see the needle, but here we go. And click. Sometimes it really hurts when I inject in my arm, but it didn't today, so that's nice. And there we go. As for my bolus insulin, I'm still using Humalog. I was on Fiasp for a little bit, but I just found that it didn't really work that well for me. Like, it said that it worked a lot faster, and that's like one of the main like marketed things. But after like 2 or 3 months, it pretty much stopped working as fast, and I found that I need way more insulin when I use Fiasp, and I just didn't really like giving myself that much. Like, it just, I don't know, it didn't feel right with me, and there's just, I don't know, I just had a feeling that Fiasp just wasn't for me. So yeah, back on Humalog now, and it's working for me. Another big thing I've changed is I've started carb counting, which is fun. But my insulin carb ratio has been so messed up since quarantine started. I've usually been doing about 1 to 10. Seems like it's working. So this morning for breakfast, I'm going to have 6 pieces of this toast. They're pretty skinny pieces, and 2 pieces have 14 grams of carbs, so 14 times 3 is 42. I'm gonna have 1 banana, which is about like 20 grams of carbs, and that's it. Well, okay, that's not actually it. I'm also gonna have hummus and some hemp hearts and some almond butter, but those things don't have that many grams of carbs in it, so I'm not gonna count it. And I know I just said I'm gonna do 1 to 10 carb ratio, but I had this exact same breakfast yesterday and I gave myself 7 units and that kind of worked okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing today. So 62 grams of carbs that I'm counting, probably closer to 70. So 7 units of Humalog it is. And I always inject Humalog into my stomach. That was burning. I'm gonna set probably like a 12-minute timer, and then I'll start eating around like the 13 to 14-minute mark. Avocados are ripe, so I decided to have avocado toast instead of hummus toast. And I'm gonna squeeze some lemon on it. Here's round 2. I just came outside so I can take a nice picture, but look at that, so beautiful. Okay, so it's been about an hour or so since I finished eating, and my blood sugar is on its way up. and it looks like it's a pretty intense slope there. So I'm probably gonna go on a walk just so it doesn't go up like super high. Plus it's really nice out today, so I do want to get outside. I am going on a hike with my family later, so that's gonna be fun, but I'll probably just go on a quick walk just around the park or something. The sky is so blue, it's so pretty. Post-walk blood sugar is looking good. Looks like I caught the spike right before I went high. Hopefully I don't go up after this. Fingers crossed. I'm just gonna chill now until lunch. Ever since quarantine started, I've been going on a lot of walks just because otherwise I don't get out of the house, and I found it helps quite a bit with my blood sugar. But oh my gosh, I just dropped my camera. For some reason, I'm still like pretty insulin resistant, and it's definitely really frustrating because right before quarantine, I'd say my insulin to carb ratio was about 1 to 12 or 1 to 13, and now it's like probably like 1 to 9, and that transition was really hard for me because I went through a phase in February, I think, when I went from being really insulin resistant to not being insulin resistant at all, and I went low so many times during that week. So I was nervous to give myself more insulin when quarantine started because I didn't want to go through that same thing. But then I just kept going high and had to keep giving corrections. And I don't know why I'm like so much more insulin resistant, because I'm going on walks and I'm getting in like a decent amount of steps. Like I usually walk around like 8,000 a day, but I feel like the fact that I'm not doing my normal workout routine is like impacting it quite a bit, because most weeks I climb and I lift weights and I sometimes swim. So not doing all of that probably also has a pretty big impact. And one other thing is that the last 2 weeks have been finals for me, so I guess I've been sitting quite a bit and studying. But quarantine has made me a lot more comfortable at giving corrections, because I used to really not like giving corrections for some reason. Like I was really scared to. Like I thought I'd give myself insulin and all of a sudden I'd like drop down to 4, then I'd go low. But I've learned that corrections are important, because before, when I didn't do corrections, I would just like walk around until I came down, or I would just like ignore it and hope I'd come down by myself. But it's definitely not the most efficient way to do it. I think the hardest thing for me was just realizing that I just need to give myself insulin. Like that's just part of having diabetes. So my dad just picked up a new prescription, and I was looking through all my stuff and I found this Omnipod demo that I got when I did this pod clinic. It was actually a pump clinic, not a pod clinic, but it's basically just the Omnipod except without the needle or anything, and it's kind of cute, kind of fun. And I thought that today would be the perfect day for me to try it on and see how I feel. This arm doesn't have a sensor on it right now, but I will be putting on a new one tonight. I'll probably put it lower on my arm, so maybe I'll put it like up here. So I got the alcohol swab, we'll wipe off the area. Oh wow, this is a thick one. Okay. Wow, this one's very, what's the word, saturated with the alcohol. My arm is actually wet now. I can smell it. The adhesive is already kind of coming off of the pod. Is that normal? I feel like I could just peel this adhesive off. Like it doesn't seem very secure. Okay. Wow. This is a weird, interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. It's actually not that big. I thought it would be like more bulky. By the way, my blood sugar is fairly stable. It's at 8.6, but it looks like it's on its way up again. I think I'm gonna give myself 1 unit just so I come back down before I eat lunch, because I hate eating when I'm like on the higher side, because then I just feel like I'm just gonna be high for the rest of the day and it's just really annoying. So yeah, I'm just gonna give myself 1 unit and hopefully I'll come back down. So for some reason, even though I gave myself insulin, my blood sugar is going up now for like no reason. And I'm really annoyed, but it's like 1 o'clock now and I'm hungry and I want to eat lunch, so I'm just gonna eat. It's unfortunate that my blood sugar decided to do this, but whatever. For lunch, I started off by measuring out 150 grams of rice noodles, which was 60 grams of carbs, and I also had some spring rolls with it, which I just put in as 25 grams of carbs. Not for really any reason, I just thought it was 25 grams of carbs, so I put it in. And then I divided that by 9, and I think I gave myself 9 units of insulin, or 9 or 10, something like that. My blood sugar is finally going down, thank goodness, and now it's time to eat. Look at how crispy the spring rolls got. They're so beautiful. And I made a little almond butter sauce for my noodles. And this is my lunch. So I'm looking at my blood sugar graph, and I definitely pre-bolus a little bit too early since I had spring rolls and they have more fat in it. I probably shouldn't have pre-bolus at all, but I did, and my blood sugar went down quite a bit. And I'm probably gonna end up spiking up after this, so that's sad. But you know what? Oh well. I did end up spiking after I had lunch, so I went on a quick walk around the block, and then before I went on a hike with my family, I had some date balls just because I was a bit on the lower end, and I wanted to make sure I didn't go low during the hike. Okay, I'm out of breath because I just went up the hill, but I went the whole hike without going low, but I was kind of on the higher side the whole time. Now it's time to go home and eat supper. It's 6:45 right now, and we just got back home, and for some reason my blood sugar is still pretty high. I guess my snack really held me over, which is good, but I was hoping I'd be lower by now. But whatever, I'm really hungry, so I'm just gonna eat. I'm gonna eat some ravioli that my siblings and I made yesterday, but I don't actually know how many carbs are in it, but yesterday I gave myself 9 units, and that was like a little bit too much, so I think I'll do 8 today, and hopefully that's a good amount. I think I gave myself the perfect amount of insulin for supper because I have been nice and steady for the past little bit. And now I'm gonna go shower, but the funny thing is that sometimes when I shower my blood sugar goes high, sometimes it goes down more, just depends. Most of the time it goes down more, but a few months ago it used to always go high when I took a hot shower, so I don't really know what's up with that. So for some reason, I don't know what's going on, but my blood sugar has like spiked up for like no reason, and I don't really know what's happening, so I'm gonna test my blood sugar to make sure, because it is the last day I have my sensor on, and usually like the last 2 or 3 days it's pretty inaccurate, and I haven't had any trouble this time, but I also haven't checked my blood sugar in quite a while. Okay, so it says that I'm at 8.9 and my Libre says I'm 9.4, so it's actually pretty accurate. I don't think I'm gonna eat anything before I go to sleep because I feel like I'm in like a pretty good place right now, so I'm just gonna leave it. But the last thing I'm gonna do before I go to sleep is put on a new sensor because I like to put them on like a few hours before I activate it. I do see quite a few. Oh, that was sad. I see quite a few people say to put it on 24 hours before you activate it, but I find that usually putting it on a few hours before is fine. Plus, I don't think I've ever had any problems with it not being accurate in the first little bit. But might as well just, you know, do it earlier just in case. Also, update on my pod. I keep getting it caught on my clothes. Like, I took off the sweater a few times today and I kept getting caught, and I also got caught on the door at one point because it's just not all the way on the adhesive, which seems wrong to me, but I don't know, whatever. I think I'll put it maybe more on the inside of my arm this time, like here. Oh, this is good. Every time I do this I always flinch because I never know when it's gonna come out. Right there's good. Ow. That didn't actually hurt. It just scared me. Okay, it is on. So with that done, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this type 1 diabetes day in the life, and I hope you guys learned something or were entertained for a bit. I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'm really tired, so I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.